loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deandra Nicolette. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. So I'm the host of Manifest Daily. You guys have probably seen the podcast audio, no. The podcast video production. Is that what y'all be calling it these days? Y'all have probably seen me and my podcast on YouTube. You probably listened to my podcast if you're here and you wanted to come and support me on a different platform. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we are talking all about vision boards. This video is basically gonna be like a two-part video. It's gonna be in one video though, so I wanna kind of explain how this video will work. So in the first half of today's video, I'm actually gonna show you guys my vision board. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. I'm gonna show you some things that I put on my board, gonna talk you through my reasoning behind putting those things on my board. And the second part of this video is actually going to be me showing you exactly how to make a board just like mine. Now, I know you've probably seen a ton of vision board videos before. In every single video that I've seen where people show you how to make a vision board, I typically see people doing like the old school way of cutting out, you know, your pictures from magazines or cutting out pictures and putting them on an actual board, like sticking them on there. And I think that is a great way to make a vision board, like tried and true, but I'm gonna show you guys a more modern way, a more like fresh new way, and a way to make your board really, really aesthetic, especially if you are one, trying to make a vision board that like represents your goals and your visions and your dreams, but two, also trying to make a board that is very aesthetic and fits your space and fits your home decor. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. Let me go ahead and show you my board. Here it is, it's in a box. I know, y'all know what this means. It means this, listen, this board about to be good, okay? If it came in a box, if it's ordered from online, you know it's gonna be good. So let me go ahead and open this. I wanted to open this on camera with you guys so that we could see it together. Okay, are you guys ready? I feel like I'm not ready. Okay, here is my vision board. Do we love it or do we love it? It's perfect. Oh my gosh. I love how this came out, and this was my first time trying something like this in the way that I did it. And so when you guys actually see the tutorial on how to make this, and my tutorial is very in-depth, okay, keep watching if you want to see it. It is a screen recording. I show you guys every single thing that you need, and best of all, it's all free up until the point where you actually have to like pay for your board and order it. But this is my board, my loves, and so sorry if you see the glare of the light, but this is what it looks like. It is so, so perfect. I'm really excited about this board because it is basically super aesthetic, but it also really captures what I am in the process of manifesting really well. One of the things that I did with this board is I actually mapped out visions that were what I thought bigger visions. So typically when I do my board, I will do a board for visions or dreams that are about 6 months to a year in advance, right? Or in terms of what I think is 6 months to a year away. But this time I basically like got rid of my expectation of time and I put down the things that I really want. So for example, one of the things that I kind of put down here, or one of the things that I put down that like represented something that I really want, is pictures of like a very modern farmhouse home. So if you know me, you know I'm really into modern farmhouse. I'm really into that style. I love it so much. And I wanted to put a couple homes on here that they were a really good visual representation of the type of home I'm trying to manifest. So you guys can probably see the home pictures here at the bottom, and then here at the top. I'll also insert some B-roll of some close-up clips so you guys can see the board a little bit closer if you do want to see that. But I put that down, and this is something where I guess in the past I would have been like, okay, well, I won't be able to have this type of home for like 5 years. So I might as well not put it on the board yet. And this time I was just like, well, who's to say I can't have that type of home next year? Who's to say I won't have or won't be able to afford that type of home in 2 years, in 6 months? I don't know, right? Because I think we sometimes put ourselves in boxes. We sometimes constrain ourselves and constrain our visions because we don't have the proof that that thing can happen as quickly as we want it to. And this time I wanted to make a board that was really representative of what I wanted and what I was calling in, even if it seemed like it was a bigger vision that could take a little bit more time. Because for me, this board is more so, it's a vision board, right? It's not supposed to be limited to your time beliefs or your time constrictions, right? It's supposed to be you dreaming big, you putting down the things that really matter to you. So that's one thing that I did differently this time. Another thing that I did was I focused on one focus word, and then I also added an affirmation. So typically with my old boards, I would pretty much put 3 to 5 sometimes focus words for whatever I was focusing on in, like, again, that next year and a half, 6 months sometimes. This time I put down one focus word. I put down abundance. And for me, I put down the word abundance because I feel like that word is very, like, it really loops together all of the things that I want, because abundance can not only refer to money, but abundance can refer to abundance of love, can refer to abundance of opportunities. Abundance is essentially an overflow, right? You have all you need, you have enough, but you have more than enough. You have more than enough and you are provided for. And so that's why I put the word abundance on my board, because I wanted the word that represented basically me having an overflow of every single thing I want and need in this life, and being able to use that overflow to give back to others. So I also added an affirmation at the top of my board up here. You guys can see that, and it says, I get to have everything I want in this life. And I put that down because I feel like, I don't know, like sometimes you just gotta remind yourself, and that is a really good affirmation for me that pretty much sums up again what this board represents, is that I get to have everything that I want in life. I get to, you know, experience the abundance. I get to call in the home. I get to have the love. I get to have the car. I get to have the experiences, and I get to live a happy life. And I think just having that reminder as an affirmation right at the top of the vision board in big, bold letters was something that I really wanted to do with this board. So I'm super, super excited how this came out. I think it looks absolutely amazing. One thing I will say is this is more of an aesthetic vision board, so I didn't include a picture of myself. I always recommend that if you are making a vision board, that's really good to put a picture of yourself on the board, because it's kind of like you see yourself amongst the things. For this board, I didn't feel necessary to put myself in the board. I also feel like I could have definitely found like an aesthetic picture of myself that fit this aesthetic. How many times have I said aesthetic, girl? Ugh. I could have definitely found one that fit this vibe and put it on the board, but I didn't. But it looks so good. Like that Mustang at the bottom, baby. That Mustang vroom vroom, honey. I can't wait till I get that car. Like, can y'all imagine me in a Mustang GT pulling up in that coupe? Can y'all see it? Because I can absolutely see it, and like, that's the important part. But yeah, this is amazing. This looks absolutely gorgeous, and it was so easy to make. It was so much fun, and I feel like as long as you guys are ready to get creative, ready to have fun with creating your board, you are going to absolutely love making this, and you're going to absolutely love your results. So I am just gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna be talking in the second part, but like y'all won't see my face. But I just want to go ahead and dive right into the tutorial so you guys can actually see how to make this board, how to get it basically just like this, super high quality. It even comes with something here on the back so you can hang it up on your wall. Let's go ahead and dive into the tutorial so you guys can learn how to make this vision board on your own. Okay, my love, so let's go ahead and dive into the vision board creation. So in order to create a board similar to mine, or if you want to create a digital board, I'll talk to you guys about how you can do that part and not necessarily like follow the printed directions that I'm giving here. But if you want to create a board exactly like the one that I showed you guys at the beginning of this video, you're going to need a couple things. So first, you're going to want to open a tab with the website Printful. Printful is this amazing website where you can actually print out a bunch of different things with your own design on them. So they have a ton of different products, as you guys can see here. They have t-shirts, they have what do they have on here? They have t-shirts, they have leggings, they have tank tops, they have hats like dad hats, all types of cool stuff. But the thing that we're most interested in today is actually going to be the posters. So they have two different types of posters. They have regular posters, which is going to be your basic print. So for example, if you already have a frame that you really like, maybe you bought something at IKEA or from Home Goods or something like that, you're going to want to just go ahead and choose posters. This is where you're going to be able to print out custom posters, matte or luster. Basically matte is super matte, as you guys know, and luster is going to be like a regular photo, or the one that I did was actually the framed poster. So if you choose the framed poster option, you're going to get the option where you can get your poster in this black frame or this like really cool wooden frame. So like I said, you can use a frame that you already have, but this just kind of gives you the option to kind of get like a 2-in-1. So we're working with Printful here. We're going to be working with Canva. As you guys can see, I have two different Canva tabs open at the top of my screen. But like I said, the first thing you want to do is just go into Printful. Now, if you are going to be printing out your poster from Printful, or you're going to be printing out a frame, you're going to want to go ahead and choose the type of poster or frame that you want. I actually chose the premium luster photo paper. So this is going to give you a photo or a poster that's really pretty much like a regular photograph that you get printed at like CVS or something. If you choose the matte, it's going to be obviously matte. So just pick whichever one you like best. I am going to go ahead and choose the premium luster photo paper. And then here is where you're gonna need to like basically make note of exactly what size you need. So it's really cool because Printful actually has this like mock here where there's a woman holding a photo. You can also see different pictures of what the photo would look like in any regular home setting. So you can kind of like play around with it and see what you want. But you're gonna be able to choose the size of your poster. So, or the size of your poster in your frame. So you can choose an 8x10, a 10x10, 12x12. You guys get the gist. Basically choose whatever size you want. You can also choose your frame color. You can go between white or black. And basically this is the section where you're going to kind of figure out like the layout of your vision board. Now, if you choose something like this, which is a 12x16, where it's actually sized vertically like this, you can also choose to basically have the design flipped horizontally. So if you want more of a rectangular size, but you want it flipped horizontally, that will be an option that you get to choose. So go ahead and take this step to choose the size of your photo and your frame. You can also see here that the prices change based on what size you get, and it also will kind of give you an approximate date for your delivery based on your location. So go ahead and choose the size that you want. For this, I'm going to go ahead and choose the 12x16 just to kind of like show you guys how this works. So you click 12x16 or click whatever size you want, click on Start Designing. And here is where you get to choose if you want this to be vertical or if you want it to be horizontal. So as you guys can see, the orientation changes, and once you have your design in there, you'll actually be able to see a mock of your design after. But for now, we're just gonna go ahead and choose vertical for the orientation. I tend to like a little bit more of a vertical frame, as you guys saw in my actual vision board. So now that we know what size we have, which I completely forgot what size we have, 12x16. So now that we know that size, we're gonna jump into Canva. This is where the magic happens with the actual designing. So in Canva, you are going to click on Create a Design. Now, in Create a Design, you're going to go down here to Custom Size. I have Canva Pro, so there may be a couple things in Pro that I have access to that you guys don't have access to if you're using a free account. But for the purposes of this video, pretty much everything I'm doing you can use on a free account, or you can do on a free account. The only thing is that some of the Canva Pro images may not be available for you if you're using a free account, but you can always upload your own images. So go ahead and click on Custom Size. And for this, we're doing 12x16. 16 is our height. We can tell because obviously the height is much taller or longer than the width. So you want to make sure you enter that correctly. So I'm going to hit 12. Oops. And we're also going to change this to inches, by the way. Make sure you don't make the mistake to leave it on pixels. We're going to do 12 by 16 inches, and we're gonna go ahead and hit create a new design. So once this opens up, you'll see here that I have my untitled design, 12 inches by 16 inches. Again, I always like triple check that this is the same size as this. You really wanna make sure that that's correct, because that's gonna make sure you get the perfect fitted frame or the perfect fitted poster for your frame. If you're just ordering a poster size, you wanna make sure that everything fits properly on the poster. So really make sure that those sizes are correct. So the next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and design our board. I wanna actually show you guys what my board looked like before it was actually a printed board. So this is what I designed. You guys can see some of my uploaded images over here. Hello thumbnails, we love to see it. Okay, so this is my board, which now that I see this in here, I'm seeing that I definitely should have like made this taller to be in line with this. If you guys can see in my board, oh my gosh, of course now like my perfectionist self is seeing this and I'm kind of feeling a way about it. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about how right here, this is not aligned with this. Like this should have been this height, basically. It's a very small detail, but you know, the details are important, my friends. The details are important. So this is my board before it was actually printed. Here's what it looked like. So this is kind of like the final product, so you guys can see what that looked like. I did not use any sort of layout to create this. I actually just kind of put the pictures on the board and moved them around, played around with them, and sort of made it the way that I wanted to make it. It is basically the same as my vision board on my laptop, but I just added a couple things in there, like some of these words and this affirmation here. Basically, I'm just showing you guys what the finished product gets to look like. So let's go back to our untitled design, and I want to basically show you guys how you can make this. So once you're in Canva, oops, let's not double the page. I'm going to actually zoom into the page a little bit. You can zoom in using this here at the bottom, or you can always hit, if you're on a Mac, Command plus or Command minus to zoom out. So I'm going to zoom in. Actually, do I want to zoom in? Actually, yeah, let's zoom in about 33%. So you can go into photos in Canva. And like I said, I have a pro account. So if you look at pro images, or if you look at Canva, you will see, let's look at some of my recently used images. You'll see that some of the images are marked free. These are all the images that are available on a free account. Now, any image that's marked pro is going to be something that's only available on a paid Canva account. For the purposes, I cannot speak right now. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be using both pro and free, but I'm going to go ahead and just add some stuff to my faux board. So I'm basically just adding a couple images. I'm just doing this to show you guys how to do this. But if you guys can see, I'm adding an image and I'm basically like resizing it to make it fit in the area that I want it to fit. And this is basically how you're going to make your board. So just add a bunch of stuff in here and resize everything. Play around with it, really play around with the sizing, play around with like the type of stuff you want to add to the board. And I am very into like this whole making everything kind of like a little mini puzzle piece, if you will. So this is just kind of like the way I like to do it, but you can obviously do it in any way, shape, or form that feels good to you. Why am I struggling with this right now? Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and add these images in. Like I said, just really playing around with the layout and getting a feel for the vibe that I want this to kind of have at that. So you guys can see I did that pretty quickly, but you get the idea. Like you essentially are just adding things to your board and you're resizing everything so that it fits. I also like to leave these white spaces in between all the photos because I feel like it just gives it a very like artsy look. I don't know, that's kind of my vibe. If you wanted to, you could also change the background of this to a different color like this. This will give it like a super artsy vibe. Like that's actually pretty dope. Actually, I kind of really like this with the dark frame in the back, and it kind of works with these pictures too because they're all pretty moody and everything like that. So the next thing that you're going to want to do after you've added all your images, you can also add text to your board, by the way, in the same way that I did. You can just go in here and add text and write maybe a couple different affirmations. Like I said, just play around with the size and everything and really do what feels good to you. You're going to want to save your design. So we're going to call this test. Printful, just so I can remember what it is. And you're gonna want to download your image. So I will always download my images as a PNG. PNGs are typically a higher quality file as opposed to a JPEG, but you can download a JPEG if you want, but there's really no reason because you can upload a PNG to Printful. So go ahead and download your image. Do not compress the file. We want to make sure that this is as big, as high quality as possible. So go ahead and download this file, and it'll take a few seconds or so depending on how fast your internet is. Mine is obviously taking its sweet time today. We are downloading. We are downloading. Hopefully you guys can't hear the noise outside. It's definitely loud. Okay, so once you have downloaded your file, you want to go back to Printful, okay? And we are going to go to the part where it says choose your file, and we're going to choose our file. So we're going to go in here, we're going to go ahead and hit upload, and we're going to go ahead and hit our image, which is test Printful, and we're going to go ahead and open this. And again, the speed just kind of depends on your internet. And then you're going to also select the file and click place. So this essentially will just manually place your file right in the middle. What's cool about this is we already went ahead and sized this correctly. Now, if you really wanted the quality to be like extra, what you could do is double your width and double your height, and then once you uploaded this, you could like essentially scale it down to fit. That would give you a much better DPI, which is, I forget what it stands for, but it basically is telling us like how good the print quality is. But I find that this DPI is going to be good. So if you size the image of your Canva file to be the exact same size of the image of your Printful file, you should be okay. You should end up with a good DPI. So this is size. It literally places it right in the middle. Everything should be okay. You shouldn't have to move anything or scale anything if you did this correctly in terms of the size. Now, what's really cool about this is you can hit mockup view, and in mockup view, it's going to generate these mockups that show you exactly what your poster or your frame, your vision board will look like. So this is what the final one will look like. And here's kind of an example of this lady, again, love her, holding our vision board. So we're going to go ahead and add this to our cart. And then the last step, which I'm not going to follow through because really let's click on checkout because I think they show you more mocks. So yeah, so if you go to your checkout cart, you will see your file and you'll also get to see your mockup again one more time. But this is exactly how you can go ahead to create a vision board in Canva and print it out in a framed poster. So like I said, you guys, you also have the option for, say we did this in Canva and we did not want to print it, we could also just save this as an image. You can also, if you want to, save this and print it at Staples, for example, and have a poster from Staples. I think printing it from Staples might end up being a little bit cheaper. So you could always print it at Staples and buy your own frame from IKEA, things like that. But this is just one way that you can kind of get the 2-in-1 with the frame and the photo at the same time and just basically have it all in one. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. This was so much fun doing this board, creating this on my own and showing you guys how to make your own. Please leave me a comment down below if you enjoy this type of video. I love DIY things and showing you guys how to make stuff. So let me know if you enjoyed this. Give this video a thumbs up and please share this video with someone that you know who is interested in making a vision board but just doesn't know where to start or wants to make one that looks really good and doesn't want to cut up a bunch of magazines. Let them know they should watch this video and check out this tutorial and make their own board. And if you have made one, please feel free to post it on Instagram and tag me in it so that I can see it and I can share it and I can show it some love, because obviously I want to see what y'all making. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I will chat with you guys in the next one. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, of course, and to subscribe to my channel to see more videos. I will see you guys in the very next one. Bye, my loves.